Talk a little bit about homeopathy, because I know that you're a homeopath.
Indeed, and I'm on a homeopathic advisory board back in Europe. The only thing is, I can't talk a little bit about homeopathy. I can run out the camera batteries on it if you want. No, seriously, I'll try and hack it down. Okay, but first of all, it's important to understand the model, because a lot of people probably have heard the word, and they're probably seeing all the scoffing and derision. Oh, well, there's nothing in it. You know, we proved there are no chemicals in it, therefore it's a fraud. And think, well, it must be a fraud. Well, in fact, it's one of the most healing and restorative modalities I know. The thing is, it's not based on the amount of stuff. It's based on an energetic signal, an information signal, if you like. So this is like homeopathy in 2 or 3 sentences. Okay, you pick a substance that copies the illness, not one that opposes it, but one that copies it. So, for example, if someone has scarlet fever, you choose belladonna, because if you take belladonna, your face goes all bright red, your throat's sore, hectic temperature, you feel ghastly. Taking belladonna is like having scarlet fever, so it's a good remedy for scarlet fever. It's called like cures like, so you're looking for a mimic of the disease. Not a conventional doctor would take an antagonist. So, you know, you take your aspirin to lower the temperature and, different kinds of opposing ideas. This is, first of all, identify something that copies your illness. Then you dilute it. Now, this is the weird part that doctors and scientists can't get hold of. It's called potentization. And you can dilute it 1 in 10, 1 in 10, 1 in 10, 1 in 10, 1 in 10. And after 12 dilutions, you've passed the Avogadro number, so we know there is no belladonna left. But interestingly, if you hitch it up to a spectrographic transmitter, you find that the more you dilute it, the more it starts transmitting energies. Now, you can't argue with the spectrograph. It's the most exquisitely sensitive scientific instrument we have. That's what tells you there's manganese on a star that's 1,000 billion light years away. You can't argue with the spectrograph. And yet, you know, the homeopathic remedies actually start to broadcast the more you dilute them. There's another series that goes 100 by 100 by 100 by 100. That's called the C series. So you've got the D or 10 series, or the C, the 100 series. So get rid of any concern that you've removed the substance. That's true, you have. But of course, what's happened is that you've imprinted the signal, and each dilution, it gets re-imprinted on the water. And that's the third point of homeopathy, right? There's like cures like, then the dilutions, and then what we call succussion. And in making the dilutions, the homeopath will bang it on his hand like that a few times, then do the next dilution into plain water, bang it on his hand. That's called succussion, and it enhances the transmission of the signal from each substance. And although you'll read all over the place that homeopathy has been proven not to work, first of all, you can't prove anything doesn't work. You can only fail to prove it does work. But there are thousands of studies showing it's highly effective. In fact, there's a very good one was published in The Lancet in 1994. They did it 3 times because they couldn't believe it was working. But 3 times it performed better than placebo.